always been close to his brother, Obinna. Growing up, they shared a room, clothes, and even secrets. Their bond was unbreakable, also Onikochi thought. Obinna got married to a beautiful woman named Neoma, and Onikochi was the best man at their wedding. He was happy for his brother, but little did he know that his life was about to take a dramatic turn. Neoma was not only beautiful but also kind, intelligent, and caring. Onikochi found himself drawn to her warmth and charm. At first, he dismissed his feelings as mere admiration for his sister-in-law. However, as time passed, he realized that his emotions ran deeper. Onikochi struggled with his feelings, knowing that loving his brother's wife was forbidden. He tried to distance himself from Neoma, but it was impossible. They lived in the same house, and Obinna often called upon Onikochi to help with errands or chores, which required him to spend time with Neoma. One day, while Obinna was away at work, Onikochi found himself alone with Neoma in the house. She was cooking lunch in the kitchen, and he was sitting in the living room, trying to focus on his book. However, his eyes kept wandering to the kitchen, where Neoma was laughing and singing along to the radio. Onikochi got up and walked to the kitchen, pretending to need a glass of water. As he reached for the glass, his hand brushed against Neoma's, sending shivers down his spine. She looked up at him, and their eyes met for a brief moment. Onikochi felt like he had been punched in the gut. He quickly pulled his hand back and apologized, trying to play it cool. However, Neoma's smile and the way she looked at him made him feel like she had seen right through him. From that moment on, Onikochi and Neoma's interactions became more frequent and intense. They would find excuses to be alone together, and their conversations would linger long after Obinna returned home. Onikochi knew that he was playing with fire, but he couldn't help himself. He was falling deeply in love with Neoma, and he couldn't imagine living without her. As the days turned into weeks, Onikochi's feelings became harder to hide. Obinna began to notice that his brother was acting strangely around Neoma, but he couldn't quite put his finger on what it was. One evening, Obinna confronted Onikochi, asking him if everything was okay. Onikochi tried to brush it off, but Obinna's eyes narrowed, and he asked his brother if he had feelings for Neoma. Onikochi was taken aback. He didn't know how to respond. He looked away, trying to avoid Obinna's piercing gaze. However, his silence spoke volumes. Obinna's face fell, and he felt like he had been punched in the gut. He couldn't believe that his own brother could betray him like this. He told Onikochi to leave the house immediately, saying that he needed time to process his emotions. Onikochi packed his bags and left, feeling like he had lost everything. He knew that he had broken his brother's trust and that their relationship might never be the same again. As he walked away from the house, Onikochi couldn't help but think about Neoma. He loved her with all his heart, but he knew that their love was forbidden. He wondered if he would ever find a way to be with her, or if he would have to spend the rest of his life pining for a love that could never be. Meanwhile, Neoma was torn between her love for Obinna and her growing feelings for Onikochi. She knew that she had to make a choice, but she was scared of the consequences. As the days turned into weeks, the tension between Obinna and Onikochi grew. Obinna couldn't forgive his brother for his betrayal, and Onikochi couldn't forgive himself for hurting his brother. In the end, it was Neoma who made the first move. She reached out to Onikochi, asking him to meet her in secret. Onikochi was hesitant at first, but his love for Neoma proved too strong. They met in a quiet cafe on the outskirts of town, and Neoma told Onikochi that she had made up her mind. She wanted to be with him, no matter the cost. Onikochi was overjoyed, but he knew that their love would come with a price. They would have to face Obinna's anger and the shame. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel Comrade Chucks, and watch out for episode 2 coming soon.